Hello, everyone. This is Pete with Concise Bourbon, your source for less chatter and more char. Now, let's get straight to the pour. So, what's going on right now is that these are the finals for the Best of Indiana store pick. Right here, we have SV Liquors. They won in a battle against approximately about 8 other bottles of Fort Wayne. And so, this right here is the 100 proof barrel pick. It's a barrel select single barrel, and it just demolished most of the bottles. And then it came in very close to 2 other bottles. The other 2 bottles were a Maker's Mark, the last Mocha, and then the other one was the single barrel proof of the Old Forester. Both of those were very competitive, but the one who won finally was this Old Forester 100 proof single barrel pick. Then we have from Ashley, Indiana, Tipsy is the man from the Handy Spots. And I told him I needed something strong to go up against a monster of a bottle. And he recommended me 3, but this was the first one. And this was the best choice I could have made. Fantastic bottle. I know this is going to be a hard battle amongst these 3 bottles. Again, that's Ashley, Indiana, here with the 10-year-old Old Louisville, and this is a 112 proof bottle number 46 out of 140 only bottles. This is a very nice bottle. And then finally we have the Rule Inn, and this is from Indianapolis, Indiana. Now, they have a lot of barrel picks. They're an excellent source, just like Ashley when it comes to barrel picks. They're doing many every year. Both of them are. And this one is a Hugh Hammer. And they introduced this to me, and I was pleasantly surprised because it's 122 proof. It has a lot of flavor, a lot of depth, and I know this is going to be a strong battle. So, in front of me, we have 3 glasses. Now, the glasses are randomized. I don't know which bourbon is in which glass. So, underneath, there's a label. So, at the end, we can find out who came in first, who came in second, and who came in third. But I want to congratulate all the finalists. These are well-deserved bottles. So this is the best of 2025 Indiana store pick. So let's go with the first one on the left. We're going to start with the nose. So I'm not going to try to look at legs or color because that may give away some things. But let's go ahead and go with the nose. Okay, the nose is bright and dark at the same time. So it starts off bright, maybe a little fruit forward, then it goes straight into char and toasted oak right away. I'm picking up fruit, maybe strawberries, like a strawberry jam, maybe even like a bubble gum, like a Laffy Taffy. And these have been sitting here for about 30 minutes, so they all got to air out. Very pleasant nose, very soft, very subtle. You can smell, it smells like a toasted light char barrel. Brown sugar, caramel. Very, very pleasant. Now, let's go to the second one. Okay, this one is a bit funky. Almost like a saltiness in the air. I think about that Lipton soup, and I don't know why it has that smell. It could be maybe like the cardboard in there as well from those Lipton soup packets. As I mix it, I get more caramel, a touch of vanilla, a lot of funk. But it's interesting. It's not bad funk. It just reminds me of almost going to a basement. You go down there and you had a barrel just sitting down there. It's nice. Different, unique, very unique nose. Now let's go to this third one on the right. Okay, this is definitely sweeter. You know, I wonder if maybe I might know what this is. I'm just going to give you a heads up right now. I think I smell some toasted char, toasted barrel, some char, along with some brown sugar, slight caramel, and banana. Did that give you a hint of what this could be? Now, I'm not going to say what I think it is because Man, I've been proven wrong before. Yes, so that's what this smells like. It also smells like you're going through the woods and the forest and you smell the leaves, maybe some mushrooms in the ground. I'm getting that kind of a smell as well. So I'm getting a lot of different things here. So all of them have very unique noses. I want to go back to this middle one again because that was very unique. It almost smells like, yes, I'm in the a musty basement with oak barrels, and maybe one or two of them are leaking out some good high proof juice. Now let me tell you the proofs here. I think I forgot to mention that, but this is the 100 proof single barrel from Old Forester. This Old Louisville from Ashley, Indiana, is a 10-year bourbon, and it is proofed at 112.3. There's only 140 bottles that came out of the barrel, and this is number 46. Now, the distilling was done in Indiana, and the mash bill is 75 corn, 21 rye, 4% barley. I'm thinking maybe MGP juice, but I can't say for sure. And then Hugh Hammer is out of Indianapolis, and this is 122.3 proof, I believe. Oh, 122.4 proof. So there are some proof differences. Will the flavor make the difference? Will that affect the finish? So let's go ahead and go with this first one. On the nose. Again, I'm getting some of that caramel, maybe some of that wood oak, maybe a little bit of funk. As I move it around, I'm getting more of that sweet fruit, maybe like just a touch of the strawberry jam in there with vanilla. Let's go to the taste. It starts off bright, fruity, then it goes to char, toasted char, then it goes back to fruit, like apples, maybe some pear, some strawberry, and then it goes back to oak and char at the end. So it's almost like a roller coaster. It just goes, which is really fun, really nice. It'll be interesting on the second sip to see what changes there. But it's a very nice sip. It's medium to long lasting when it comes to flavor. I feel a touch of a Kentucky hug in there, which is nice. So let's go ahead and try the second one. In fact, I'm going to get a palate cleanser, get some water. Okay, let's go to the second one. Before I even swallow it, there's a drying on my tongue, in my mouth, and my cheeks. And then you swallow it and you get a blast of brown sugar, dark, maybe like a slightly burnt caramel, slightly burnt brown sugar, with some like a dark vanilla. This is a very definitely a dark oak barrel. It really is taking a lot from the barrel, which adds the complexity of this. Let's go to that nose. I think I forgot to hit that nose again. Okay, so after taking that sip and I'm smelling the nose again, it really does smell like, imagine you open up the barrel, it's been poured out, and now you're going to take a big whiff of inside the barrel. That's what I can imagine that would smell like through this glass. You're getting a lot of barrel influence on the nose and on the palate. But it is softening up. As I drink it, as I move it around, it is softening up a bit. Less funk, more sweet, but definitely oak, oak, oak when it comes to the barrel. Delicious, delicious glass. It depends on what your profile is, right? So you got two different types of flavors there. Now let's go to the third one. On the nose, it's almost like in between them both, but I'm getting a little bit more fruit forward, a little bit of that maybe banana, that vanilla, like a light vanilla. What else? some char, some brown sugar, some caramel. So very similar to what I picked up the first time. Let's see if it transfers to the palate. Okay, so no drying effect when it's on your tongue. Again, so it goes through waves as well, but not as big as the first one. But it starts off sweet, a little bit of fruit. I'm thinking maybe like the banana runts, maybe some pear, some apricot. Then it goes to char, slight toast, heavy char. Then it goes to maybe back to banana peel, maybe this time, along with some apple, and then caramel and vanilla and oak barrel. And as it continues to linger on, this is actually a pretty long lasting sipper. I would say this is medium to long, and I would say this is medium to long as well, but slightly longer than this one, at least on the first sip. So very good. So we're getting some very different ones. Now, I think it depends on your palate, which one you're going to like, and it depends on the day. But we're going to go one more sip because this is best of Indiana. We really need to give them all a try again. On the nose, I'm smelling pear, the flesh inside of a pear. I'm smelling apricot. I'm smelling caramel, vanilla. Just a touch of like strawberry jam. Not really that Laffy Taffy this time. Now we're going to go ahead and sip. So I drank a little bit of a bigger sip this time, and it really coated my mouth. I really got oak influence, but I did get a lot of fruit on there. I got the lighter fruit more this time, less of the vanilla and the caramel. I got more of the apple skin, some of the apricot, that pear, and it's still going. I can taste it more and more as it dissipates, which is really nice. I really like a beginning palate, the mid palate, and then the finish. I really enjoy the finish on this. As it starts to die down, that finish, those fruit flavors start to go down. Now I'm tasting a little bit more of that caramel, that brown sugar, that vanilla, and then definitely it tastes like a toasted oak with like a heavy toasted with a slight char. That's what I'm tasting. Let's go ahead and cleanse the palate. All right, let's go to number 2. Deep, dark. This reminds me of now when I'm smelling it. When I went to Conviction in North Carolina, and you go into their rick houses, it was a prison before, and so it's called Whiskey Prison, which is really cool story. And it smells like you're going into those rick houses. A little bit of dampness, a little bit of mustiness. It just brings back memories. With the sweetness, it smells like maybe you're next to one of the barrels as the person who's given the guide is talking. Maybe some of that juice is leaking out of the barrel. So it really is a fun experience. It transports you. Oh yeah, that's what I'm smelling right now. 100%. That funk is gone, and it's replaced with just being inside of a rick house. Very, very fun. Let's go with the sip. It feels warm when you're drinking it, sipping it. Before you even swallow, when you put it on your tongue, it feels warmer. Maybe that's because it's a little more drying, but this time I'm tasting a little bit more apple peel as well. I'm tasting a little bit more toasted barrel, a little bit of dark caramel, maybe slightly toasted to a little bit overly done, some brown sugar, some vanilla, and maybe you just left it on a little bit too much. And so it's a little bit charred, but that's a really good taste as well. Maybe even you think about a pie and you slightly burn the crust. It kind of reminds me of that as well. I really do like it. It's a very unique sipper. I'm so glad I have both of these. Now let's go to the third. You know what? Let me cleanse my palate real quick. Now for me, I don't know if it does anything for anyone else, but I actually like to smell the water. And it doesn't work like coffee, but I like to smell the water and then sip it. It helps me a little bit. You know, I still got these these two last glasses in my mouth. I had to take another sip of the water so I can go to the third one. But that speaks to the volume of the sips. I don't think this one has the longevity of the finish. I just think it has that strong of a taste, of a flavor. And then this one has multiple flavors with a longer lasting finish. Let's go to the third. The nose on this is opening up more as I'm drinking it. You're getting a lot more banana, caramel, brown sugar, pie crust, but not burnt pie crust, almost like perfectly done pie crust. So maybe a little under. A little bready as well, like yeast bread, you know, those yeast rolls. And I'm gonna take a sip again because I had to smell it and I already forgot all those flavors because the scent just kept on going. Very fun. You can smell a little bit of ethanol too. So this is, when it comes to drying out, this would be the most, this would be in the middle, and this would be the least. So there is some drying out. And I also feel a little bit more Kentucky Hug on these two, more than that one. I personally like that little Kentucky Hug, that little slight touch of a burn. It doesn't really feel like a burn to me. It feels like just a warming. Just imagine you're going outside, you need something to warm up your chest. You drink one of these two. Does that speak to the proof levels? I don't know. But in terms of the flavors, you get caramel, you get your vanilla, you get your, it just, everything is like well balanced and well done. There's nothing really strong about it or really weak about it. It just seems like such a solid, straight pour. And then it lasts a bit, and then it starts going towards that oak. Um, Almost a tannin, but not really a tannin, not really drying. So the fruit is right up front to the mid, and then the caramel and the vanilla and the oak is towards the back end. So I've got my order of what I think I like the most, and which one is going to be. I already know which one's going to win, and that's this one. This one right here is going to be number one. Now, which one is going to be number 2 and 3? Let me go back to those. You know, it reminds me similar to Conviction, even the flavor a little profile a little bit. It's not. The Conviction has its own thing, but it is similar. And you really get a lot of that toasted char, the brown sugars, deep, dark flavors. If you like dark flavors, then wow, this is fantastic. Whoever it is, don't matter the order. Just go by what you like to drink and then try to get one of these that match your palate. I like them all, but I have to pick 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going to go to this one. I'm not going to do a palate cleanser. I want to see if this can overtake that one, even though it has deep, dark flavors. And it does. It's brighter. It's fruitier. It's it even has like a touch on this one, like a touch of mint on it, which is very interesting. The sweetness of that banana note. So I'm gonna have to go 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm gonna guess which is which to go with it. And I think the easiest one to guess, I think, is gonna be this one. That's banana note. I think that one is going to be your Old Forester 100 proof. It's a solid bottle. I really did think if that is really it, I really did think this was going to win. But then you have these two, and this one is so deep and dark and just vibrant in a different way. It just brings you and transports you to the Rick House. If you've never been there, smell it and you're going to get an idea. And then go to the Rick House and visit and see if I was wrong. Maybe even bring your bottle with you and smell it, and then go to the Rick House. This one I think is Hugh Hammer. It's a double oaked. It's a high proof 122, which reminds me of maybe sitting next to some of those barrels where maybe they're leaking a little bit. You might even be able to touch the barrel and taste it. It's super sweet, by the way, if you do that. Very nice. Guys of Conviction did a really good, nice job on that tour. I really enjoyed it. I tell everybody about it. Can't wait to do it again. But back to the bourbon. And then this one, because I just did a review not too long ago, and I say so many fruit flavors. I didn't get the complexity as last time, which is really fun this time. I love tasting new things. This one did as well, but it was just not as big valleys and peaks, not as high of peaks and low of valleys compared to this one. The strawberry also leans me towards this. So let's see if first of all I'm correct, and let's see who won. So for me, it doesn't matter who wins. All these guys are winners. All these guys I'm buying bottles from going forward anyway. So let's go ahead and look. The first one is, whoa, wow, wow, wow. See, and this is why wow, this really did fool me. It fooled me. It fooled me. It fooled me. I'm getting these fruit forward flavors, not really the banana. And this is Old Forester. I feel like someone played a trick on me. I love this bottle. I love this. I love all these bottles. But I really did think that this one was the Old Louisville. So what is the second one? It's got to be the Old Louisville, right? No. It's the Hugh Hammer. How? Wow. This Hugh Hammer just tricked me. I don't know how. It really does taste like a combination of like in the middle of these two, and that's why I had to give it second. And let's go to this third one. How? Something must have changed. Because if you look at my review when it came to this one, man, honestly, I just thought this one was going to win. But this is why you do the barrel flavors. And this is a fantastic glass. And it is darker. And you know what? It's probably that 10 years. That 10 years is showing through. It's oaky. It's solid. It reminds me of the Rick House. I'm going to say the best and more fun nose is this one, the Old Louisville. It transports me to the Rick Houses. I love that. The nose on this by far is the best. So I would say based on palate, it's Old Forester. Number one. Congratulations, SV Liquors. Old Forester. Best nose. I have to give it up to Old Louisville. Congratulations, Ashley, Indiana. That nose, that pick is phenomenal. And then Hugh Hammer is just solid. It's just right there in the middle. It does very good both things. It doesn't outshine this one in flavor, and it doesn't outshine this one in nose. But it's just an amazing, amazing, amazing pour in terms of just being all around well balanced. So what does this tell you? You don't need to hunt for the most expensive allocated bottles. Support your liquor stores with those barrel picks. And as they bring out more of those barrel picks, you're going to learn more about your profile. You're going to get things that are off profile. And then also, then you're going to get a chance to get more of those allocated too because they know that you support them. I want to give a special shout out to Fort Wayne, to Belmont, SV Liquors, to, um, let's see, Gaze Hop and Schnapps. Misty, you always help me out. Thank you so much. And then who is that fourth one? I said Belmont, SV Liquors. I can't remember right now. Anyway, if I remember, I'll shout them out as well. And then shout out to Ashley, Indiana. Tipsy makes it fun to go there. He'll explain what he was smelling. He'll let you smell the bottle. He has a Facebook group. This really is, when you shop at Henny Spot, you're not just shopping for bottles. You're really part of the bourbon community, and he's a big part of that. So shout out to you, Tipsy. And then Rural Inn, they try to be very fair with everyone. They get a lot of store picks, and then they also try to share their allocateds as well, especially to those who support them with their allocateds, and they have a membership which helps them to organize things. So again, number one on taste, boom, Old Forester Black Label, 100 proof single barrel. Shock, 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 surprise. Number one in nose goes to Old Louisville, the 10-year single barrel, 112, only 140 bottles. And then number three goes Hugh Hammer. Hugh Hammer was the best of all. It was the best in class, in show, I should say, because it does a little bit of everything. This is the average Joe taken to the highest level. Fantastic, guys. Well, this is Pete with Concise Bourbon. I hope you appreciate that we try to focus less on the chatter and more on the char and the pours. If you like these reviews, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next neat pour. Peace.